सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। પૂજ્ય માં ભગવતી, પૂજ્ય શ્રી અરવિંદ, you all are the chosen children of our Divine Mother. It is the time that is to be operated with the tuning that has been created by our psychic. That is the clue Mother has explored from the very core of divinity that is hidden in the shell of the body. Divinity is also projected with two different dimensions. One dimension is time, another dimension is space. It is time and space. These are the fundamental dimensions of relativity. Relativity is an expression of truth, but in all relative perspectives. Absolute truth is truth qualitatively so existing that it doesn't require any relativity. It doesn't require any dimensions. It doesn't require either time or space. It is beyond time and beyond space, and that is why it is super conscient. It is above conscient. It is above consciousness. It is above state of knowledge, Gnan, Dharma, Bruhat, Rutam, Satyam. It is the only absolute Sat that ultimately comes to the matter, and while coming to the matter, by getting itself projected into the matter, it has become life, it has become vital, it has become matter, and it has become consciousness even. So Mother realized it. People around him, around Mother, even living there in Pondicherry and living outside the world, though they are scholars, they are scientists, they are literate, they are what not, still this truth and the level of the truth is beyond any perspective and beyond any comprehension by mind. Mind is absolutely limited consciousness. We cannot comprehend the totality. Mind and totality are far distant. Mind is at one end and totality as another end. We are all habituated as human beings that mind is all powerful, mind is what not, mind is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, and it is all in all. But it is at a particular limited, it is in the particular limited zone is all in all. Its zone is limited. The zone of mind is extremely limited. So it is the question and issue of mind which can only be solved by awakened psychic. And awakened psychic is the real representative of the superconscient. And that is the clue mother found out. So disease, suffering, deterioration, disorder, all negativities, all anti-divinities, all hostilities, they appear to be reality, they appear to be truth, they appear to be absolute, they appear to be omnipotent and omnipresent. But it's not the absolute truth. The mother truth, the mother matter, the mother nature, and the mother earth, that is absolute divine. That is absolute divine. It is that nucleus of divinity, light, consciousness, in whatever name we can try to understand it, in whatever jargon we can get it projected to understand and to convince our little mind logically. These are all subtle processes which are as inexpressible as divine itself. As inexpressible. Divine is absolute. It is the absolute that is the only quality, the only essence, the only core, and the only positivity. That spark itself is divinity. That can be Virat, it can be microscopic existence. So that is what the clue people around mother at the time of mother's transaction from mortality to immortality. Mrityor ma amrutam gamaya and srunavantu amrutasya putraha. Both the things, one is accessible to the mind and one is only and only accessible to the Supreme. Mrityor ma amrutam gamayaha. Gamayaha is velocity. That nucleus of divinity is there, wherein the infinity also coexist. It is the divinity and infinity both live together as two sides of the one coin. Inseparable reality is infinity and velocity. But it is energy, it is supreme energy, it is supreme absoluteness can handle both of them together in toto. It's beyond science. It's beyond science. Only yogi can experience it. Only yogi can bear it. Only yogi can hold it. Only yogi can realize it. And only yogi can operate it. And the operative capacity and potentiality is omnipotent. It can operate infinity. It can operate divinity. It can operate absolute, it can operate reality. For this entity as such, no time exists and no space also exists. It doesn't require space, and that is why it is invisible. It is the visibility that can be based on space. If it is to be made visible, then it requires space. If it is to stand on something else, subject becomes object, then it requires time and it requires space. Unless manifestation's first step takes place, no space is wanted, no space is required, no time is also required. So timeless is the element which is the quality of infinity. Timeless is the reality for the mindless space. No space is required, no mind is required, no what we call pedestal is required. It is the will. If that permits, then it becomes relativity. It is the will of the Supreme, will of the conscient. If it wills, then it can be manifested. Without will, but will of the Supreme, will of the Absolute, the will of the nucleus that only exists. This is the clue Mother has found out beyond science, beyond mind, beyond scholarship, beyond intelligence, beyond anything that is at present available, a supreme quality with the mind and man. That new age in which we are made to enter, that Mother is going to create. Supramental body is Mother's individual perfection, and supramental life externally is the transformation of this earth. But clue is common, clue is common, approach is common, operative technique is common, operative energy is common, operative force is common, operative light is also common, If all these things in toto we can try to realize with our limited mind, with our bounded mind, then only mind can be eligible to become the boundless light. Light is boundless. Mind is not boundless. Mind can be mindless space. Light can be boundless. So if we try to understand both of them together, then we can understand what is the process that the reality becomes relativity. Pure reality becomes pure relativity, and relativity can slip into impurities, can slip into disorder, can slip into something else, because it is left to itself half truth. Truth only and only exists there in supreme reality. So truth is light, truth is love, truth is purity, truth is infinity, truth is capital energy, truth is everything. Everything. So nothing is to be, no aspect as such is to be left out in order to understand the supreme reality, supreme truth, and that is there in our cell at its purest level, And unless we are in contact with this supreme purity, we cannot be in contact with infinity, we cannot be in contact with energy, we cannot be in contact with divinity, we cannot be in contact with the superconscient, we cannot be in contact with the supreme divine. So at least we must have thoughtful understanding, we must have comprehensible understanding. Then only we can have the glimpse of unknowable. It is unknowable. Unknowable means unknowable for what? Unknowable for our mind. How far powerful, how far infinite, how far competent it might be, but still it will be definitely away from this unknowable. That is the clue Mother found out. Unless the nucleus that is there in the cell given to us, matter is also immortal at its purest, subtlest level, which is still beyond mind. Mind is there with us. How far intelligent, how far scholastic, how far analytical, still it cannot reach the tremendous depth of this cell. And depth of the cell means not something downward movement, not something movement that upper is there, uppermost, and down is there, downward, absolutely down, not like that. It is fathomless. Absolute is also fathomless, and the immortality, infinity, energy, light that is there in the cell is also fathomless. And both are same, one and the same. Both are not different. Both are not different. Crores of cells are there in our body, so they are the crores of forms of the one and one Ekoham Bahushyam. If we can understand it, if we can understand that base of Vedantic truth, but truth, not Vedantic interpretation by mind, by intelligence, by any scholar, doesn't matter. It might be Sankaracharya, it might be Saptarshi. That is for the first time Sri Aurobindo realized in his body, and that was transmitted. That entity that is absolute there, and that is unified, realistic, scientific, concrete in our shell, is one and the same, and that has to be awakened. What is within our hand is to be awakened, instead of going to the state where moksha is waiting for us, where salvation is waiting for us, where Bhagavan Buddha's Sunya is waiting for us. No, no, it is there in our shell, and if it can be brought up, if it can be awakened, if it can be realized, if it can be brought nearer and nearer and nearer to our mental height, mental consciousness, that is over mental consciousness, then and then we can start entering into this new world which is being given as birth, as baksh, as gift to entire humanity and to matter, that is to earth too. Infinity is not what we understand. Immortality is also not what we understand. Time is also not what we understand. It is something unknowable. Time in infinity, that is timeless, is also unknowable. Mindless space is also unknowable. When mind becomes mindless space, we'll see in the evening. When mind becomes mindless space, then mind doesn't understand mind. Mind doesn't comprehend mind. Mind doesn't point out that this is mind. You can just see. Ramana Maharshi used to say that I am Brahmasmi. I am Brahmasmi means what? My mind is not existing as your mind. My mind doesn't operate as your mind. With my mind I cannot understand. My mind is my present state of consciousness, whether it is mind or there, it is physicality there, it is vitality there, whatever it is. But it is so operated by my psychic that it is beyond my understanding with my little instrument, pure, perfect, it appears mind. So this is what Mother realized. People around Mother may not realize, and it's but natural for them. It's but natural. It's not their incompetence, nor there any malified intention, nor there any negativity in them. But it is but natural. They cannot understand. If Einstein had been there, Einstein also could not have understood it. Mother and Sri Aurobindo, Satprem writes, are great upsetters. We just have to look around. They are great upsetters. They are not creators. They can upset. They can create upheavals. They can create revolt and revolution, but for better. Not for their own understanding, not for their own selfish motive, but for creating new world. That is what Mother Bodhive started. Creating new world is the programming within her body, and creating new world is the programming of upsetter, master evolutionist. It's a mutation of evolution too, but it is the mutation of cell too. not mutation of the universe, it is the mutation of cell too. And if it is really really explored, Satprem also collecting information of last 6 months implementation of this programming was kept away. So naturally, mentally he was unknown, spiritually competent. 6,000 pages who was made to write down, who was made to listen to, is not incompetent because was chosen by the divine. As Sri Aurobindo could transmit supreme mind of light to mother, mother also can do it. Mother also could have transmitted the same thing to Satprem. Doesn't matter physically, mentally Satprem is there or not. There or not. And to some extent, this Satprem, as he writes here in Mind of Cells, there are certain signals. If we can compile all of them, we can understand that he was in physical absence, the stage of his physical absence in mother's room for 6 months, could have received certain things and had received certain things directly from the mother. And they are there as signals. How can man keep supreme away from the human? How can man keep someone away from the supreme? Is it man's avenue? It is man's cup of tea? It is mind's cup of tea? We feel apparently. With eyes we cannot see Satprem and mother together in the room, as these people might have seen Satprem and mother together so many times. But mother is also not away from Satprem, and Satprem is also not away from mother realistically. So they are upsetters. They upset people around her. They cannot upset virtually Satprem. Satprem was still mentally well set. That is mindless space, granted to Satprem too by mother, because mother wanted this nucleus formula of her yoga to implement immortality on mortality, to implement mindless space on mind, to implement supramental on this mortal world, and to bring down divinity totally. That is really the kingdom of God. Really the kingdom of God. That is to be brought down. And mother did it. But as usual, we do not see anything except slogans and millions of radios. That is what we have discussed yesterday. It may be published one way or the another way, but it all depends upon our little understanding. With our little understanding, we can accept truth and we can declare it to be the perfect. That is mental nature. But here mental nature is not required. Here genuine nature of the mindless space is required, even to understand it. Mother says in 65, Satprem quotes mother's utterance of 65. They feel the ground is no longer solid beneath them. They feel there is no ground solid beneath. What mother is doing on 15 November, 16 November, 17 November 1973. They could not understand because there is no ground for them to understand. There is no ground for the entire world to understand. Even today, world doesn't understand, and world horribly failed to understand what was executed by mother in 1973. It's not the question that the inmates could not understand. It is not the question. Inmates, anybody on the world as human being could not understand. Could not understand. This is for the future Einstein, this is for future Stephen Hawking, and this is for future Archimedes and Galileo to explore what is the real nature, what is the real nature, what is the real nature of consciousness invisible and light visible. Consciousness is invisible, but light is invisible. Only light is visible consciousness, and consciousness is invisible supreme light. That future scientists will have to explore. And from where they can explore? From cosmos they can explore. From vast they can explore. They can explore from the cell. They can explore from the cell. DNA is immortal. That has been already granted with the very first specimen of human body on the earth. DNA was given immortality, and it is with the quality of immortality DNA was first bestowed upon the human matter in the womb of the mother. And no partiality, no what we call misery is there. It is ex gratia divinity, that its own stuff, its own infinity, its own immortality, its own divinity, that has been supra microscopic way given to the cell as its reality, as its quality, as its own existence. But that will be the avenue of the future scientists to find out and to formulate. It's shaky, it's very shaky. They don't feel comfortable. People around mother, people around mother's body, just taking very unique jump from one side of the extinction verge to the other side of the extinction verge. Energy's final ultimate test. How energy can jump from the side of mortality to the side of immortality. There is no anything wrong committed by even inmates around mother. Ordinary man, every man with intelligence, with knowledge, with experience, whatever it is not understandable, because it is unknowable that is to be projected. It is unknowable that is to be concretized. It is unknowable that is to be embodied. It is unknowable that is to be given shape. That is supramental life. That is supramental life. Will. What type of will divine expresses? It's divine's right. How can we estimate? How can we limit it? How can we confine it to our mental conception and mental understanding? Mind cannot express, inexpressible and indescribable. In Savitri Sri Aurobindo has written, this is inexpressible and indescribable, and that is why our ancient rishis left it, naiti, naiti, naiti. Still further, still further, still further, charam vetti, charam vetti, charam vetti. Where is infinity? He is not after mortality. He is not after mortality is over that immortality starts. Not like that. Charam vetti. You must go on, go on, go on. Naiti, naiti, naiti. But it is there. It is there. That was for the first time explored by Sri Aurobindo and transmitted to mother as mind of light. Mind is knowable. Light, supreme light is unknowable. But God has given body, God has given shape, God has divine. God means divine, divine means consciousness, the supreme. Has given us, sun is there, light is there, lightening is also there. We can see light, Jyoti, but Varam Rupam Jyoti is unknowable to us. Jyoti is knowable to us because it was given by God, it was given by divine, it was accepted by divine. That limitation has been accepted by divine. So the little bit of limitation on the part of the divine can be explored by us with our mind, provided our mind also can be just upgraded to that particular level, where wavelength of the superconscient becoming light and wavelength of our mind is so extended, so extended, so upgraded at the level of the mindless space, then we can at least have the glimpse of it. But it is there in our body, it is there in our cell, it is given already to us. We are just moving here, there, and everywhere. So nobody is responsible. Mother was not understandable at that time, and mother could not be rightly understood by the people and inmates around her. They are not responsible. They are not at fault, because it is but natural. It is but natural. We cannot condemn anybody. But the choice of the mother can have the chance for realization of this mystery, because it is her will. It is the will of the divine. And mother was divine when she started this programming in 58, and mother was absolutely divine when he concluded her experiment completely and successfully. Or in the single point, it is impossible for any change to take place even in a single element or in a single point of the earth consciousness without involving the entire earth in his change. This change is for the entire earth. So all different dimensions of the matter, all different dimensions of reality and relativity are all to be changed, and at a time everything to be changed. At a time the grand total is not to be comprehensible to a little mind. How far pure, how far dedicated, how far powerful it is. But if it is not the choice of the divine, you cannot grasp it. If it is not the choice of the divine will, if it divine wills for you to experience, then and then only one can experience. Satprem writes, it is perhaps about time that the world awakened to the reality of the phenomenon before all the little heads could understand. No way is there available to humanity, to scholars, to analysts, to scientists, even to sadhak. It is the will of the divine that prevails. It is the will of the divine that is absolute. It is the will of the divine that can only create, that can make others also to realize, that can make others also to participate. But everybody as such who might be participating, who might be focusing on it, who might be applying something to it, who might be experiencing a little bit of an atom of it, but they are to be pre-chosen by the divine. The way to change the world is to be found in the body, and this is the way to be found in the body. Na iti, na iti, na iti can be converted into iti. That is pedestal as such is to be found out from the body itself, and found out from our cell itself. Then we can get it. That is what for the first time mother got it, and mother realized it. This is what is changing, nothing else. This is what is changing, and that is the only thing which can change the world. That is the thing only which can change the body. That is the thing which can change the destiny, and this is what we can think that can change and is changing, the present tense is used here. Satprem is also using present tense. This is changing. That is the intimation. Doesn't matter. I am kept outside. I am banned. I am banned to be witness to this. Doesn't matter. But I can get the intimation direct from the divine. That is the signal. It has started changing the world. Supramental body of the mother was not made visible to the human eyes, makes no limitation, creates no limitation for anybody. The world, earth, existence is to get as per the will of the divine, is now getting assuredly. There is no doubt in it. There is no doubt in it. That is what is changing, nothing else. All the bodies, she would say, mother says, all the bodies will have it. All the bodies will accept it. All the bodies will have new life, new supramental seed in their body and will start blossoming right from this moment, because it is new time. It is not the time of mortality now, it is the time of immortality that has started with the physical death of the mother and the supramental birth of the mother. If we can understand that this phenomenon is one and the same, physical death of the mother is the supramental birth of the mother within mother's body, so that master key is there in body itself, in cell itself, in the understanding of the reality of the cell. That is truth, that is Sat, that is Bruhat Rutam Satyam. She could say all the rest is just bubbling of the brain, and rest of the things we may accept is the bubbling of the thing, nothing else. It is momentary reality. It appears to be reality, but it is fundamentally unreality. It appears to be truth, but it is fundamentally not permanent truth. Unless and until truth is understood and accepted as total, truth is accepted as permanent programming, permanent life, permanent light, then only we can be in contact with the truth. Our wavelength is so set that we can experience truth, and that truth is timeless, and that truth is infinity, that truth is immortality. Unreality of those things which are understood by us, they are also fundamentally unreality, unless it becomes totality, unless it becomes infinity. And how can it become so? Only and only by the will of the divine. Only and only by the supreme will of the divine. It is supreme will that is the evolution. It is the supreme will that is the last mutation, and it is the supreme will that is the divinity into infinity, though it is appearing as mortality. Unreality of those things, as if we were trapped in an unreal falsehood. Doesn't matter. We might be trapped in unreality of the falsehood. Still, we can have this immortality individually. All the people living at that time in Pondicherry crossed century. Is not a medical miracle, is not physical miracle, is not the miracle of simply living there in sadhana, is the miracle but supreme reality of the will of the Supreme. It is the Supreme in the form of Sri Aurobindo and Supreme in the form of Mother, the wills, and it is their willing that is reflected in their disciples. That is reflected in their disciples. Where time is also not required and space is also not required. If she wills from there, we can get this new change. If she wills from there, we can get the immortality living here. If she can will there, we can get total supreme light here living thousands of miles away from her. No time and no space should make it limited. This is immortality. Everything falsehood, and everything vanishes when we get out of it. When we get out of it on the strength of our will, on the strength of our will, when we get out of it, it doesn't exist. Falsehood doesn't exist. There is no place for any falsehood to exist and to operate us, to deviate us, to put in disorder. That cannot be possible. It is not. That is what is frightening. Our bhai, our fear is also away. We are not frightening. What is frightening? That's all those things which are so real, so concrete, so frightening for us do not exist. They appear to be real. Falsehood appears to be real, but it cannot frighten us. It cannot frighten us. So why to bother about it? We have not seen the supramental body emerging from the mother's body makes us not incompetent for getting this boon of Sri Aurobindo and Mother's Yoga. We are benefited, we are given, we are still fortunate. Today, if we don't realize with our bounded mind, tomorrow is kept reserved for us, and if divine wills, then we will have to realize it. We cannot but live without its realization. That we are simply trapped in a falsehood. Why? How? What? We are living with the divine. We can understand this much little, very little, that mother is doing this, mother is doing this, mother is doing this. That is sufficient for us. Our faith in this programming is more than our surrender. Our faith in this programming is more than our surrender. Then no falsehood can enter into our consciousness. We must be well assured. Never ever, not once in all its life had this body felt such total and profound pain as it did that day. Mother must have suffered so lot that the entire suffering of the whole of existence might have been so accumulated that it was felt and experienced in one and one body of the mother. No misery has scope to exist elsewhere. No suffering has place to exist elsewhere. No mortality has place to exist in any body hereafter. Never, ever, not once in all its life had this body felt such total, this body, mother's body, felt such total, mother says, such total and profound pain as it did that day. Oh, then at the end of it, bliss and everything vanished. Bliss is only left out. Everything is vanished. And mother experienced that, and Satprem also experienced that for a moment. But mother was successful. Mother got this program of the vision of Sri Aurobindo accomplished totally. And thereafter she left her life on 17th November. On 24th of November, we may realize it or not, that is our limitation. That is reality and preparedness on the part of the earth. Our body is earthly body. Our body is microscopic earth. And cosmos is macroscopic earth, macroscopic body. But if she wills, we'll have this on any day, and as early as possible we can have it. Then at the end of it, bliss and everything vanishes. Then at the end of it, at the end of the physical body of the mother, there is bliss, bliss and bliss, nothing else for us, for earth, for entire existence. Then at the end of it, and everything vanishes. as if all that, all those awful things didn't exist, doesn't matter. And all the methods which would be termed artificial, including nirvana, we'll understand on the strength of this experience that nirvana is also artificial. Nirvana is the final stage of Lord Buddha, that is ninth incarnation, is also artificial. Now reality is the experience of mother. Reality is the experience of the vision of Sri Aurobindo. Reality is supramental, accepting supramental. Everything is artificial. All the methods for escaping are worthless. Moksha is also worthless. Nirvana is also worthless. Mukti is also worthless. Transformation into supramental being is the only will of the divine, and that will prevail forever, and it will prevail forever is infinity. It will prevail forever is immortality.